Haley girl, you better hope that Naomi don't reach across that table and do you like her mammy did you. Like this. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Hi, I am Shar and I'm your recap auntie. Hey y'all. Welcome to my channel. I'm gonna try to do this a little bit quieter today. Shh, be quiet. Because I could be a little loud and very animated when it comes to me and Pinky. Hi, say hi to Pinky. Hi, Pinky. My little nails, I got some little press on nails. I'm trying. I used to do this for like a long time ago, and then I stopped. I started back going to the nail salons to get my nails done, and I was like, I'm a chameleon. I like to switch things up. I get bored real quickly. So sometimes I like them short. Sometimes I like them all blinged out. This is very tame for me. So I decided to go ahead and go back to my press on. So aren't they cute? I like to keep them on. I like to file them down. You know how you do your press ons, girl. You know, girl. But anyway, hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about Beyond the Gates, episode number 21, and things are getting hot. This episode was a little bit, I'm just keep looking at Pinky, make sure her light is on, because yesterday I was recording and girl, it was like, job, nothing. So that's why y'all got three different videos, me like this, me like this, me like this, me like this. So I said, let me make sure I keep checking with Pinky to make sure she's still on. So hey, I normally talk a little bit before. How y'all doing? So good to see you today. It's the day. It's almost the weekend. The weekend is almost here. I ain't got no more shows popping off, so I'm really happy about that. So yeah, y'all are just talking to me. I love the conversations. Y'all be like, Auntie, do you think that Daddy, do you think that this might happen? Do you think that Vanessa's gonna sleep with Joey? Yes, she's gonna sleep with him because Joey's gonna definitely give her some stuff that Dougie has never given her. So yeah. So anyway, let's get started. I'm almost at 3 minutes. Y'all know sometimes that 3 minute warm up, I need to do that. So anyway, let me breathe. Okay. So, episode number 21, we open with Danny asking Chelsea again. So so you doing what with modeling? No, I don't want to, be no model no more. So Chelsea was like, "Oh, don't forget. It's the Mumu review. Mumu review, y'all, remember." And my notebook. So if I'm looking down, you know what's the T. So she's like, real cute. She tells Chelsea, but we have no time for comedy, honey. So Chelsea tells her, so she's definitely done with modeling. And Danny is asking Chelsea, are you punking me? I mean, is Jackass around here somewhere? The camera's out. Are you streaming again? Because you like to stream and make me look like a fool, honey. You know that. They like to watch your mama freak the fuck out. So what's going on? She's like, no, mom, I don't want to be a model anymore. She also tells her that she's not like Danny. Modeling is not her end all be all. She tells her that she wants to be a designer and that she has her own company already. And she also tells her that she's been partnering with Kat and that they just started it, but it won't take too long for them to launch their own line. I was like, go ahead, Chelsea. It took you a long ass time to tell your mammy, but I'm so proud of you. Yes, she. Okay, so Danny says, look, sweetheart, maybe someday soon you'll be able to start your own fashion line. And Chelsea was like, that she already knows that she needs to know more about her company from like business plans. She already knows, she knows the concept, she knows about marketing, she knows everything. So Danny tells her that she's not going to let her give away her wildly successful career on just a whim. So Chelsea tells her that it's not up to her. It's not up to you, mama, to tell me that you're not gonna let me just give up my career on a whim. It's not. We all can tell that it's Danny the one. She's the one that really feels like it's her modeling career, not Chelsea's necessarily. So she's like, it's not up to you to make that decision, mommy. That's up to me. So Danny asks her, what about she said, I'm just really shocked that I'm just finding out about this. You haven't told me. So Chelsea was like, Mama, I was scared to. I was too scared to tell you. So Danny was like, so you thought I was going to fall apart, huh? So Chelsea feels bad about what she said. So she said, you know what, Mom, never mind. Let's look. 3 years is not too long. I can go in and work the fashion show. You've already met with the people. So she was ready, reach down to sign the contract. Danny beats her to it, grabs the paperwork, and ripped that shit in half. And she continues sipping her screwdriver because remember, she got the screwdriver from the other day. So she tells her that she's officially off the hook. She would be the biggest hypocrite if she tried to stop her from chasing her dream, that is calling her name. I was like, go ahead, Danny. So Chelsea says, so that means you're okay with me, my decision? So Danny's like, okay, you might be overstating that I'm okay with it. But I do remember being in your shoes and that she had many fights with Lady Anita, who tried everything in her power to get Danny to stay home and not leave the country. So she knows how she feels. So Chelsea's like, you took a risk and it did pay off, Mom. She said, I sure as hell did. So Danny was like, if she had more sense, then she would have been scared of what she was taking on at 17. I didn't know she was 17. So, and her eyes were on her own prize, and her focus helped her achieve it. But for 2 glorious years, she was a top model, right up there with Naomi Campbell, which is probably the reason why she named her first daughter, Naomi, and Beverly Johnson and Tyra Banks. But I'm sure Tyra came on later. So Chelsea says, then you met Dad. And Chelsea tells her that she will always be grateful for her successful career. And she's going to take all that she's learned from her mom to the next level with her designs and her company, especially how Danny is like a boss and don't take no shit from nobody. So Chelsea wants to build an empire, and she feels that it might take a while. And Danny was like, "No doubt about that. It's going to be an empire, huh? Yeah, yes. It's not going to take you. It ain't going to take you no time, honey. With all that money you have and everything, and your social media presence, you're going to be great." So she tells her how proud she is of her, and She loved working with her. Although she wishes that it would have lasted a little longer, she does understand that she gets it. So Danny also tells her that I had to do me, and you got to do you, honey. And they hug each other. So we see Nicole come in from the country club. Remember, Andre had told Nicole there's something wrong with your sis. I ain't gonna tell you how I know, but she needs some help. She ain't doing good. So after Danny leaves, Chelsea sees Nicole and tells her, "Oh my God, you just missed Mom." And Nicole's like, "Yeah, I saw you both. I mean, I didn't want to intrude on a lovely moment." So Chelsea tells her about how she was going to leave modeling, and Nicole was like, so that's what you and Kat been working on." So they're both surprised that Danny took it so well. So Nicole tells Chelsea that Anita was not understanding when Danny wanted to leave and pursue her modeling career, especially since Anita was a superstar singer, honey. So Nicole also tells her that Anita didn't want to see Danny face those same hard roadblocks like she did when she took that same path. And also when Danny left, she was out of their lives. They didn't hear from her at all, like nothing, until she chose to reach out. 2 years. So Chelsea is talking about how you guys didn't even have cell phones back then. It must have been torture. True. I mean, you can call long distance, but yeah, you wrote letters. But Nicole tells her that Danny called when she remembered, which wasn't too often, and it was hard on Anita not hearing from her baby girl. So I'm thinking that's when Danny started becoming an addict. We know that she loves her alcohol. You can see it all when she's sitting down in the living room later. You see all these bottles of alcohol and stuff. I think that when Bill came along, that was her new addiction, hooking up with him. I mean, because she put her all in him, like she did her modeling. But I think that it was very toxic for her. I think she used drugs. I think she used alcohol, and I think it was really, really bad for her. But when she met Bill, it was a good and bad thing. It was good that she met this fine man who was, about to be a lawyer, and she had two beautiful children. But she put her whole life, her heart and soul into everything and helping him build his career, that she neglected herself. And that was her addiction. So now that that's gone, and now Chelsea is gone, she's back to doing what she knows best, and that's with alcoholism. So I think that's what happened with her. That's why she's took everything to the extreme when it comes to letting him go, because he was her addict. Not literally, but maybe he was. I don't know. That's why she just dealt with the fact of him fucking around on her with these women. She knew about it, but she didn't do anything because she stayed. But that last one took her out because he not only fucked around on her, but he divorced her and then married her and then stayed in the town. And you know the story. So I think that's why I think she's always been an addict of alcoholism. alcoholic. But I think that now it had to resurface. So she's never dealt with it. It was just sleeping. It was under the surface. So that's my Dr. Nicole Shar diagnosis. So Nicole tells her, oh, Chelsea. Okay, Nicole tells. Okay, I always. So Chelsea, well, you won't have that problem with me since my social media is always popping and open. She'll always know everything because my feed is always visible. It's never invisible, thanks to Mama. So Nicole tells her that we both know that separating yourself from your professional, from her professionally, is going to be a struggle for her. So you need to be patient with sis, because it's going to be a struggle for her at times. So she might pop off on you. She might cuss you out. She might disappear. She might do a lot of shit. So just have patience with her. So Chelsea was like, I get it and I will. So Danny makes it home, thinks about her conversation with Chelsea. Then she also thinks about a conversation that she had with Vanessa when Vanessa was like, I'm wondering all this energy that you're putting into this modeling career. Is this really for Chelsea? It wasn't for you. So she pulls out her cover, the picture that damn Haley broke. She pulls that out, and then she started talking to the picture and looking at it, how great she looked when she was younger. I think that she's letting ageism get in her way too, and she's drinking, drinking, drinking. So Nicole shows up and sees her sister just sitting on the couch, just drinking. So it seemed like Nicole might have been familiar with that side of her, possibly. So we'll see. So Chelsea is at the country club, talks to Kat. Finally, she told her that told my mama what happened, girl. She's like, girl, really? Like, yes, really, 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 really. So Kat was like, girl, well, at least you got one side, half of your side of your family is cool, but your other side of your family just blew the fuck up. It did. So let's get down to Bill and Naomi. So he is like very he is like, you have these few extravagant claims from a few former disgruntled employees, because remember, we're picking up from her serving him the papers. Not her, but she paid somebody to do it. So she tells him that she has 3 clients who have made very specific credible allegations against him, against his firm, for sexual harassment. So he tells her that the rumors about Mike are unfounded, and she needs to be careful about using that word in court. It makes you sound a little desperate, little girl. So she says that the people who work with Mike must know how he treated the women in this office, huh? Because Tomas was still standing there at the door. And she looks at Tomas. Tomas was like, so she says a few statements from his employees will prove to be very informative and educational. So he bounces. So Bill tells her, sweetheart, that if getting his attention was what she wanted, it succeeded, but it might have been better if you would have picked up the damn phone and called your pappy. She says, Dad, giving me a pro tip like that, you might not want to call me sweetheart in court because it sounds a little sexist. I was like, okay, Naomi. So he tells her to withdraw her complaint. She was like, hell no. So she asks him, she asks him that why are you acting like you didn't know what was happening right under your nose? He talking about he had a lot going on, honey. I got a divorce. I got married. I got on a honeymoon. So she says, so you were so busy with your personal life that you didn't, your personal life, that your HR department ignored all of this, the harassment stuff that was happening. Didn't you even notice the huge turnover of all the female staff people in your office? He has the nerve to say, lower level personnel matters are not my concern. I was like, lower level? He tells her that he don't manage staff. He manages high profile cases. She tells him that you wouldn't have had those high profile clients if it wasn't for that messy ass, nasty ass Mike Davis. And she tells him that all of those banks and those high profile clients pay you a hefty ass retainer. And he thinks that she is using this to pretty much pay him back for what he did to her mom. She tells him that maybe your professional and personal mirror each other just perfectly. He calls what she is doing as being unethical, and she's telling him that she is holding him accountable. It's not unethical. You did something wrong. So she tells him that you used those girls, and he calls her case flimsy, and he says that the records show that those women were let go due to poor performance. It's right there in their complaint. And then she says that those terminations were retaliatory. No jury would believe that it's a coincidence that all three women were let go within days of them complaining to HR. He tells her that he is not worried about his ability to defeat her in the front of the jury, but if you allow this to get that far, it's going to be detrimental for everyone. Do you understand that? Your clients will get nothing. Naomi was like, no, my clients will prevail. Bill is like, you will be lucky that you won't be laughed out of the court. And Naomi was like, while standing up for my girls, these three girls who are innocent, it will be my pleasure. So Bill goes on and says, what about the truly innocent people who work here at the firm, huh? Who will be suffering due to your smear campaign? People who watched you grow up and came to your law school graduation. I'm like, Bill, you didn't think about that when you was fucking around with Haley, married her, all of that. That wasn't a smear campaign. You did that. He says the people and those people in your work area, he tries to lay it thick on her, talking about she will hurt those people she knows and cares about. It's not too late to rethink about it. So you could tell that she has in her eyes, it's like full of tears. And she looks like she was really kind of, sad about it. She was like, I'll see your ass in court. And then she leaves. So Bill sits back in his chair and he starts to smile. Like, let's fight. Like he likes that shit. He likes that fight for some reason. His mama, now his daughter. So he comes home and Haley brings out these hideous dresses. I'm telling you, they dress her like a mob boss wife. I don't know why. They all these heavy print and all this. I'm like, girl, you too little for that. And she got on her leather. She loves her leather, honey. They got her on brown leather today. Let me talk about what she did. Jacob was at a restaurant. I think was it at Orphe Jeans? It was somewhere. Jacob was there. So she sees him. Haley sees him. Remember, her and Naomi were like best friends. So Haley sees Jacob and she goes over to him and has real small talk like, hey, I heard about, your promotion, that's cool. That's what's up, nigga. That's what's going on. He was like, yeah, right. Yeah, I got a promotion. What, so what? So she's like, yeah, well, I did say at the beginning of the scene, like, girl, we ain't seen you since last week. Welcome back. That's what I said. In her leather. So she tells him, again, she's, I wanted to catch up with you. And he tries to leave. And so she stops him, asks him, how can they work together to get Naomi and Bill back talking again? And Jacob tells her that his only role is in this is supporting my wife. That's it. Not making nice with the person that she lost all respect for. So Haley was like, because Bill fell in love with someone other than her mother? Is that really that unforgivable? I'm like, girl, you were this girl BFF. That would be the same thing if you would have fucked around with Jacob. Same difference. So Jacob was like, look, I'm not getting I'm not getting into this with you, girl. And so Haley is like, can we at least agree that even before I came into the picture, Bill's and Danny's marriage was already rocky? And so Jacob was like, oh, so is that what he told you? No, let me guess. My wife doesn't understand me. Or you and I have a special connection, Haley. Am I even close? So Haley was like, Bill deserves some happiness in his life, and it shouldn't cost him his entire family, especially his daughters. I was like, this bitch got a nerve. It ain't up to his daughters no more to keep him happy. It's up to you to make that happen for him. And not forcing other people to make him happy. That means you don't believe in the power that God gave you to make your own husband happy. Shit. Oh, let me breathe. So Jacob said, did he think about his actions, what his actions cost his daughters? I don't think about that. I don't think he did. I don't think that nigga did. So Haley was like, well, I'm sorry that you can't allow yourself to have a little compassion. He was like, not after not after he hurt the woman that I love. So Haley was like, well, just so you know, I love Bill and Naomi very much. And I'm going to keep hoping that someday Naomi would let go of her anger. And even if it's for her own peace of mind. And Jacob was like, I wouldn't count on that. And he leaves. So that's when we go back to Haley, and she's home, and she brings in those hideous dresses. Oh, honey, I couldn't find any furniture, so I found me some pieces. I'm like, girl, you should have left those clothes on the rack. I'm saying that's off the top of my head. So Bill is home. Said, oh, baby, why you home? He's like, oh, my newly wife would definitely be the more reason for me to be home. I'm just turning my light around. Having my wife, but I had a rough day. My Naomi sued me. She was like, what? Sued you for what? Harassment. Oh, those ladies have never said anything to me, and Mike has been nothing but a gentleman to me. And Bill was looking like, really? I'm thinking that Bill told him to stay up. That's mine. Don't touch that. So then they talk about little stuff, and then he gets a phone call from Mike, and then he has to leave, and she take her little ass. You know where she's going. She always feel like she got to rescue Bill. Bill don't need no fucking rescuing. So what else happened? So yeah, so Jacob leaves and then goes to this little other club. I don't remember this club. He met Naomi there to go eat, and so she tells him that she really went through with it and told her dad and sued him. So he told her about Haley trying to make them reconcile. She said, what did you say when you told that bitch to go to hell? He was like, well, I didn't quite say it like that, but I just told her that I was on your side. And she was like, I hope you didn't tell her about the lawsuit. He was like, no, I didn't think you was gonna go, you was gonna do it. She said, oh yeah, I did it. And he was like, how does that feel? She said, real good. I ain't got no, yeah, whatever. I was a boss. She was her mama. So that was it. What else did we talk about? Martin tells Smitty, because Smitty had asked him when you was gonna tell me about you was running for being president, sir. So he said, I only told two people that he was running, my mammy and my grandfather. So Smitty asked him, so we just keeping, your plans in a tight circle, but I don't understand why your husband was not part of that circle. So Martin was like, I guess the same reason why you never told me that you wanted to go back to reporting again. So Smitty was like, that's one hell of a false equivalence. He feels that neither of them are comfortable in sharing what's important to them both, which is not a good thing in a relationship. So Smitty is mad because Martin had the perfect opportunity to tell him that he was running for president earlier, but Martin says, I didn't have the words. Girl, yes, you do. You always have the words, always. Remember what you did, that whole soliloquy that you did with Vernon and Anita yesterday? You had the words. So, so Smitty was like, well, I'm a writer, so let me see if I can give you the words. You, hey, Smitty, the reason why I didn't tell you about my presidential ambitions because I thought you would say that there is no way in hell that you would support me in that. Am I right? Mark was like, yeah, I was afraid that you might say that. Do you really feel that way? And Smitty says, before I answer that question, I want you to tell me right damn now, why is your grandmappy and grandpappy so dead against you running? He says, well, my grandparents, they don't think that he's ready for this a major move. And he was like, can you blame him? Smitty was like, I can't blame him. So Mark was like, do you think that I'm up for it? You don't think that I'm up for it either? And Smitty's like, you're one of the toughest people that I know. Somebody said that before. Oh, Bill told that to Haley. You're one of the toughest people I know. And yes, you can handle the pressure. And my life has been an open book, you know, for years. But and so Martin's like the kids. He feels that the kids can handle it and they can handle that their pop is on the national stage. And so Smitty is like, but a campaign that big, that would be at least 3 years of their lives. Most kids have a normal stresses when they're in senior high school and even in college. Every slip that they make will be part of a national conversation. So Martin thinks that he's underestimating them as a family and they can weather anything together. So they have time to talk about it since it's something that he's been thinking about. So Martin and Smitty, so, he feels kind of hurt that is Martin tells Smitty that I feel kind of hurt not having my husband's unqualified endorsement. So Smitty is like, you don't have it yet. Martin tells him that he will take what he can get. So Martin and Smitty meet at Orphy Jeans for some good food. I'm gonna eat at Orphy Jeans. Y'all gonna okay. So the dude, I don't know if you remember the slim dude with the glasses, he had approached Martin at the gala and said, yeah, I wanted to talk to you, see if you had a chance, because we got this really great gig for Smitty to be an investigative reporter. It's a really good opportunity. Tell him about it. And so Martin was like, nah, I don't think that he's gonna be ready for that shit, no, we good. So we see the same dude coming to Orphy Jeans get something to eat. So here come damn Martin sitting there. Martin sitting there with a menu. Let me show my with the menu, and he got the menu up in front of his face, so the guy won't see him. That menu was red, and y'all like my sign. It really does mean a lot. Dream big, think more, fly high, sing louder. This is me. So anyway, so yeah, he tried to hide, and the guy was like, "Yo, what's going on, Martin? What's going on, Smitty? What's going on with Steve?" So Martin was like, "Yeah, what's up, Nick?" So like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Smitty, that that you turned down that investigative, boom, boom, bow. And Smitty was like, "What? Yeah, I told Martin that your mother-in-law's gala that that's a great job, but he told me you weren't interested." So Smitty was like, "I'm not interested." And Martin was like, "So yeah." So anyway, Kat and Tomas meet at Orphy Jeans earlier, and they talked about what happened. And that's when Kat later on met with Chelsea and told Chelsea that her family is being split apart. I think I talked about everything, right? Bill, Chelsea, Danny. Oh yeah, Danny is drinking at the house, and Nicole shows up. I'm like, does Danny not lock her door? Because I'm like, Andre pops up, mom and daddy and then pop up, Nicole pop up, unless Nicole got a key. Yeah, I talked about, and the very end. So Andre leaves, and Naomi is sitting there eating. A little bit, aka Haley, comes in and sit down. Huh, what the hell are you doing? Girl, like I said at the beginning, you better be lucky. You better hope and pray that Naomi don't reach across that table and smack the shit out of you like her mammy did in episode number 1. Because this is episode 21. So you at least got 20 episodes. Do another slap. You better hope she don't grab your ass across that table. Because that looked like a little hole in the wall where they eating at. Girl, you got a nerve. Why do you feel like you need to keep saving Bill? When you find out all that shit Bill done did to keep that law firm afloat, you gonna regret it. You going to regret that shit. You are. And you're going against all the girls. I have a feeling that Caroline has a story. Caroline, that's the Asian girl that works there. She's a best friend of Haley. Caroline acts a little skittish, very like, oh my God, I want to do everything for you, Haley. She's always wanting to say something to her, tell her something, but she's afraid to say something. That's what I feel. That actress is doing a good job. I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks though, but she's doing a good job in like really feeling like she wants to say something, but then she pulls back. Good job, boo. Good job. Anyway, it was a fairly decent episode. It wasn't as good as the one the day before. So we're gonna see what's happening today. I'm not doing it early time. I had to squeeze in my lunch break to do this, but daily is daily, so we are here. So thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for coming to my channel, having a good time. I really enjoyed. Let me see, she's still on. Yeah, she's still on. Having a good time reviewing this show. I did look them up. My boyfriend was here a little bit yesterday. He's like, I wonder how they're doing regarding ratings, and on Rotten Tomatoes they run about 83%. You have some people who think that the the show is all right, but again, you got to remember what time it comes on, and I think they're doing the double duty with BET plus, CBS during the day, BET at night plus Paramount. So I'm hoping that that does help it, because I didn't know that they came on BET, and I was just flipping. I said, well, I've seen this before, and that was episode number 6. So they are running behind, but I hope that they can pick up some traction, and I do hope that they do get another one, because if the other show that I reviewed, if they got a season 2, and their Rotten Tomatoes was like at 58, so I know Beyond the Gates need to do something, and we need that. We need some good news, because, like I said, remember y'all, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you lost, it's gonna be okay. You got this. Me and Anita, remember we telling y'all this. You got this. Okay? I promise you it's going to be okay. All right. All right. Love you. Bye.